what's up? My name is Catherine and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a chatting about makeup new releases. I realize I haven't done one of those since like the beginning of the year, and now it's June, full summer, so I feel like it's time, and I feel like there are actually some interesting releases in the past couple of weeks, so it's not just going to be me being like not buying it, thank you, next for the entire video. Nothing wrong with anti-hauls, but sometimes I just feel like they get a little too negative and I don't want to do that. So yeah, everything is going to be from Trend Mood because I'm basic. I don't really pay as much attention as I should to indie brands. So yeah, if you're new here and you'd like to subscribe, I'd love to have you join the party, and let's get started. So I'm going to start with mid-May releases and kind of work up from there. So first release that's really caught my eye in a while is the Morphe 39S palette. So this is a purple themed 39 shade palette. It's set up like the 39A and the James Charles palette, and I truly think this is so pretty. You guys know I love purple eyeshadows, and I feel like this actually has like a good amount of purple eyeshadows in them. Even the browns that are in this palette, which really there's only like 4 or 5, are still very like pinky purple leaning, which is really nice. And when there are 39 shades in a palette, I do think it's okay for there to be like a decent amount of neutrals in there, because like if your palette's that big, like you don't want to bring that and another palette somewhere with you. There is a deep purple matte in there too, which is really nice. A lot of times there aren't very many deep purple shades in palettes, and I just think this is really pretty. The one complaint that I really have about this palette is that the big shades are all shimmers. It would be kind of nice to see like big matte shades in there, like how they did with the James Charles palette, how those are like the shades that you're gonna reach for the most. Like if those were all transition-y shades, that would be really cute. And then there's the price. This is $35, which I was like, that seems expensive for a Morphe palette, because the James Charles palette was that expensive, but normally their palettes are more like $20, $25. That's really the reason I haven't bought this, because obviously like everyone has their code where it's like $3 off or whatever, like 10% of 35, yeah, $3.50. So you would get 10% off, but then you have to pay for shipping. So the 10% off like doesn't really matter because it doesn't even cover the shipping cost. And I've heard Morphe's shadow quality has gotten better, but I haven't personally tried it, and I feel like $35 is like a kind of a lot of money for like potentially iffy shadow quality. And it's like, it's huge. Like space is always a factor for me when buying makeup, because I live in a teensy New York apartment, and that just has to be a factor for me. So that's kind of why I've held off on it. I'm gonna watch some reviews on it and see from there. It would be really nice to have like a giant purple eyeshadow palette where I can like always use it as like filler if I want like a purple shadow for something, but we'll see. Next up, let's talk about Kylie Skin. So Kylie launched a skincare line, and I was actually pretty surprised with the price point of these products, because I feel like Kylie Cosmetics is always like hit or miss. Like some of the things like the loose highlighter are really decently priced, and then other times it's like $60 for a highlighting palette, which is like, no, don't do that. I am not planning on buying anything from this anytime soon. I know the walnut scrub got like a lot of backlash. People are like, wow, it's the St. Ives scrub all over again. But I know I work at a spa, and one of the high-end brands that we sell also has a walnut scrub. So it's not just like a cheap thing, even though it might be cheap to make. It's not just like a drugstore thing with a high-end price tag on it. Like I think a lot of people don't know that physical exfoliants aren't always the best for your skin, and so they want them, and it's better for a brand, like from a brand making money standpoint, to have it for the customer to buy than for the customer to go buy it from another brand. So I'm not like big on the walnut scrub obviously, but I also don't think that like someone's automatically the devil because they have an exfoliating skincare scrub. I am sort of interested in the face moisturizer. So far the reviews I've seen have said it's like surprisingly super moisturizing, and I have dry skin, and you do get like a decent amount of product in there. It's $24 for almost 2 ounces. What I'm really interested in is the blue light protection that's built into there, because I do sit in front of a screen all day. I do have blue light glasses that I use a lot, but it would be interesting to have a moisturizer that protects against that, because honestly, like, we don't really know what the effects of blue light are on the skin. Like, anyone who's in their like 60s, 70s, starting to show their signs of aging, hasn't sat in front of blue light for a while. So like my generation, we pretty much grew up in front of a screen, whereas there was TV in the 50s and 60s, but people weren't sitting in front of a computer all day. I would also possibly be interested in the foaming face wash. I know there was that whole video where she like cleaned her face with it and it like didn't take off her makeup. I don't use face wash to take off my makeup. I do an oil cleanse and then a face wash, so I also don't mind that. And so far I've heard from people that it's like, they're complaining that it's like not cleansing enough, so it sounds like it might be really gentle, which would actually be right up my alley. I think the packaging is cute, and that would be the main reason I'd buy it. It's very like Glacier. I don't know, I don't really like hop on the whole Kardashian hate train. I know they've like done some problematic things, but I feel like a lot of people's hate for them is more rooted in like hating women than hating the problematic things that they've done. So I try to avoid that train because I feel like it gets very negative very quickly. Next release that I want to chat about, 2 releases from ColourPop. 3 releases. ColourPop never stops. They never do. So first I want to talk about their summer collection, which is all watermelon themed. I think this is really cute, but I don't really need the colors that are in those palettes, the little watermelon palette. It's all like a bunch of reds and oranges, which I have so many of that I already don't use that often. I just did a video filming with my Yes Please palette that'll be going up on Sunday, which is very similar colors, and I don't use that palette very often. So I think this is really cute, and I love watermelon, like absolutely love watermelon. Definitely like one of my favorite fruits when it's actually like ripe and good. But it's not even like scented or anything, so I'm probably gonna steer clear of this one. If I did get anything from that collection, it would be the gloss. I think the gloss is super cute, or possibly the face milk from 4th Ray Beauty. I still haven't tried anything from 4th Ray Beauty, but I'm considering it, so we'll see. Next ColourPop release that I want to talk about is the Blue Moon palette, which is a 9-pan all blue palette. So I'm really happy that they did release this, because I know people have been asking for an all blue palette for a while, and I think I've even said that it would be cool to see them do an all blue palette. I'm not sure if I'm going to buy this or not, quite frankly. It's because I don't do blue eyeshadow a lot. I feel like every time I do blue eyeshadow, I kind of end up looking like Tim Curry in the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and it's like not really that cute of a look for me. And then it's summer, don't really think of blue eyeshadow when I think of summer. Quite frankly, in summer, like, you're hard pressed to see me do anything other than eyebrows, because it's just disgusting and gross outside and I don't want to. And I definitely don't do colorful eyeshadow that often in the summer, which might seem counterintuitive because you'd think like, oh, bright colors, summer, they go together, but I just think of like how much makeup it is to put on, so I don't really do like bold looks that often in the summer. I'm not gonna say I won't ever get this, but I won't get this soon probably. If I did get this, it would like partially just be because like I want to have the whole 9-pan palette collection, because I think they're so cute, but then I'm already not getting the watermelon palettes, and I'm like, I'd be getting that, and then I feel like I need to get the watermelon palette just to keep the collection going. I feel like if they come out with an all yellow palette, I'm gonna end up getting the all yellow palette, the watermelon palette, and the blue palette, because I'm gonna have the whole rainbow of 9-pan palettes, which sounds so stupid, but there's just something so pleasing about seeing like a bunch of palettes that are like the same shape, same packaging design, like all sitting on the desk, and they're so affordable. And I mean, like, there are people that literally collect like rocks, so I mean, like, don't bully me, okay? Next up is the Juvia's Place concealer and foundation. So the price point of these is really great. It's $20 for a 1-ounce foundation and $14 for a 10 milliliter concealer. How many ounces is that? I don't know. I'm American. So that's 0.34 ounces, which is the same size as Shape Tape, so it's a pretty decent price. Juvia's Place is like an in-between brand where they're not like drugstore pricing, but they're not high-end pricing either, so this is consistent with that. I don't think I would get the foundation because it's described as full coverage and matte, and I'm not really a full coverage girl, and I do wear matte foundations from time to time, but whenever I do matte foundations, I try to play them up to be as dewy as possible. And so far, the reviews that I've seen say that it is like super full coverage, like really intense coverage, and that's just not my vibe. I really like my skin, and I like my skin to look like skin. So when I'm wearing foundation, I want it to like even out my redness, maybe like help fill in my pores a little bit, but like full coverage just isn't my vibe. And I think it's great that they did a full coverage foundation because quite frankly, I think most people want super full coverage foundation, but I don't think I'm gonna get that. If I did get something, it would be the concealer, but concealers are like really having their moment right now, and I'm just like really interested in it. I love the things that I've tried from Juvia's Place. I love their whole branding. I love the shade range of this. I think it's great that they focus their shade range on the darker end of the spectrum. The backlash that they're getting for that is like kind of annoying. There's a bunch of people in the comments saying like, man, this doesn't go pale enough for me, which like first of all, it goes really pale. Quite frankly, I feel like a lot of the people that think foundations don't go light enough for them just don't know how to match their undertones, because like honestly, I used to be like that in high school. As I was like, wow, this doesn't go light enough, but really I was just getting a foundation that was like too yellow of an undertone, and when something pulls like really yellow on you, you think it's like too dark. But it like, I think the shade range of this is perfectly fine. Like I've seen really pale people match the foundation to themselves just fine on YouTube. And honestly, like if you really genuinely feel that the makeup industry doesn't cater to you and you're white, like just take a moment and check yourself, please. There's one foundation release out of however freaking many foundations have launched even this year alone that isn't catered to your skin tone, and I need you to just like relax and realize that not everything's about you. I almost forgot to talk about Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics. This has been like 4 years in the making. Apparently she was waiting for her divorce to be finalized to launch it, which kind of sucks for her because it's like a lose-lose situation. I think if she had launched it before the divorce was finalized, she'd have had to like share the earnings or whatever in the divorce. But she's waited so long that people kind of don't care anymore. There are so many beauty guru brands out right now. I think it's really interesting that she launched with a bullet lipstick instead of like a liquid lipstick, because I feel like every beauty guru brand either launches with an eyeshadow palette or a liquid lipstick, and I think it's cool that she did all nudes. Like it all feels really on brand for her, which is awesome. I just like, I'm probably not gonna spend $20 on a lipstick at any point soon, so yeah. Next up is the Alyssa Edwards and Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. So I think this palette's really pretty, but I'm not gonna buy it. I don't know what my deal is with Anastasia Beverly Hills. I'm always like really drawn to their color schemes, and then I buy it and then I just end up not using it, and like I haven't loved anything from them the way I love the Modern Renaissance from them. Like I bought the Riviera palette and it's just been sitting, not getting used, and same sort of thing I said earlier. I just like, I don't really think of like colorful eyeshadows as being very summery for me. So I'm gonna hold off on this one for now. That's not to say that I'll never get it. Next palette, one that I actually might get, which might be a little surprising, is the Natasha Denona Sunrise palette. So the reason I might get this is because they put less product in this to lower the price points. This one's actually $65, which is still expensive for a palette, but for a brand that normally charges like almost $200 for a palette, it's definitely a lot more reasonable. So I'm holding off on this because I want to watch reviews from people who have already tried Natasha Denona's formula, and I want to like make sure it is on par with her other palettes. But I might actually buy this just to try the formula. I've always been really curious, like how good can it be that people are willing to spend $200 on it, if you know what I mean. And it's a color scheme that I'm into. It's a lot of like pinkies, and there's like the two little purple shimmers. Like I would definitely use it. So tentatively might actually buy this. That'll be like kind of shocking of a day if I do actually buy it, but we'll see. Jeffree Star lip glosses. I'm good, love. Enjoy. Ooh, oh, I forgot to talk about these earlier when I was talking about ColourPop. The ColourPop sticks, they released blush and highlight sticks. So I have already ordered these. I'm waiting for them in the mail. Super, super interested in these. I love cream products, especially on days where I just want to do concealer, like a little bit of concealer and have like a little bit of something going on my face. I feel like powder products don't sit on your face that well if you don't have foundation under them. That's just my opinion and how it's always worked for me. And I want to see how like these work, just applying them directly to your skin. And I am going to be traveling a little bit over the summer, and it'd be really nice to just have like a bunch of sticks in my makeup bag that I can just like bloop and go. That'll be really, really nice. I feel like they'll be great for summer. And I'm really, really excited to get these in the mail and try them out. It's been like 4 days since I've ordered and they still haven't shipped. And I'm 20 years old and I grew up in a generation of instant gratification, and I'm really annoyed because I want them right now. All of the Pride stuff I'm not buying. Like, I think Tarte has something, Violet Voss has something, Morphe has something. I just don't really get down with like the whole like let's pretend to love gay people just for the month of June. I feel like I know like a lot of these brands do support like gay makeup artists and share them a lot on their page, but I don't know, it just is like, feels like so overdone to be like, oh, it's Pride Month, let's launch a rainbow eyeshadow palette. I'm like really over it, especially like with Morphe. It feels really weird that they launched a rainbow eyeshadow palette because I'm like, this is like directly in competition with your James Charles palette. It almost would have made more sense if they just like said like, oh, like X amount of profits from the James Charles palette this month will go towards X organization. It just, I don't get down with it that much. Yeah. Dominique Cosmetics launched a summer palette. This is called the Rustic Glam palette. I do like the color scheme for this palette. I think it's like a good balance of like interesting, but still has like its safe little neutrals in it, which I feel like if you're a beauty guru brand, you kind of need to play it safe for your first couple of launches. Again, with like the blues, I don't love blue eyeshadow that much. I want to try Dominique Cosmetics. I've heard the formula is just like absolutely amazing, and I just like haven't been that drawn to any of the palettes yet where I've been like, I have to buy this. I think the one I've been most drawn to is the Berries and Cream palette, but there was still just like quite a lot of neutrals in it where I was like, it's not that worth the price point to me. I don't know. But I did swatch that one in Sephora and was really, really impressed by the formula. So that one's like a maybe for me. All right, this is gonna be the last thing that I talk about because it's getting really hot because I can't have my AC on while I'm talking and I'm losing my voice and I talk too much. This is the Milani Cosmetics Celestial, I can't even say that word, highlighting palette. So a couple things. I think this is really pretty. Reminds me of like those Stila highlighters that are all like swirly and cute. I don't think the colors would work on me, but I think it's cool that it is more of like a medium leaning highlighting palette. I can't really tell because the person that they're swatched on is so tan, but they just like look in the pan like they'd be dark on me, but I think they're really pretty. I love that they like literally look like planets. It's so pretty. I'm sure it would get messed up like the second you stick a brush in it, but whatever. The thing that gets me is the price point. Like, this is $19 for like a little drugstore plastic palette. Like, Milani's prices have been getting up there lately, which I think they have really great products. I've loved pretty much everything that I've tried from Milani except for their concealer, but not the new concealer, the old concealer. But they're like really have been raising their prices. Like, they're kind of like NYX, where they just like are getting more and more up there these days. And I'm like, but you're still at the drugstore. And then like there's also this point where people will be like, oh, like I'm doing like a full face of drugstore products, but then like everything on their face is like over $20. And like, does it really count as a full face of drugstore products if it's this expensive? Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, long story short, won't be buying it. I think it's really pretty, but also think brands need to chill with their prices. Oh wait, I'm gonna talk about this. Urban Decay Naked Skin Foundation. Oh wait, okay. Juvia's Place also launched a setting powder, so I'd probably buy the setting powder if I bought the concealer because I Still want like a slightly more affordable setting powder, and this is only $12, and it looks like the shade would work really well for me, and they're cozy free. Okay, I'm really sticky and I'm getting like delusional because it's so hot in here, so I'm gonna stop talking now. I hope you enjoyed me rambling about new releases. I'd love to hear what new releases you're interested in, if any, or if there's been any new releases where you're like, ew, get that away from me, we don't need that. Would love to know. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video, which will be on Sunday. I know, 2 uploads in 1 week. Who am I? I'm back, hopefully, except then I'm moving next week, so then I'm gonna be a mess again. But yeah, bye.